Good morning, everybody. Today I want to try out Analog.js because it's early morning. I have a couple of hours left before I go to work, so yeah, let's see. So basically, I have never used Analog. Analog is a full-stack Angular meta framework. So it's a framework basically on top of Angular. And I haven't yet looked too much into it. I know it's from Brandon Roberts, who's like an awesome engineer. Shout out to Brandon Roberts. So for those who don't know who Brandon Roberts is, here that's Brandon Roberts. Go ahead, follow him on Twitter. He's doing some great work. Yeah, I think he's the main contributor. There are other awesome contributors on this project as well. But I think the main idea of this framework is that you basically get Vite. I don't know if it's white or Vite. I think it's Vite. So instead of Webpack, you basically use Vite, which should have like better DX, should be faster, and yeah, just also brings Vite testing or Vite test, which is another framework on top of Vite. I haven't tried Vite test yet either, so I'm also curious how Vite test works. Something has happened to my sound. Okay, good. Then furthermore, it does hybrid SSR. So we have like server-side rendering. Let's see. There are also Analog will support both server-side rendering and static site generations of Angular applications, okay? And then we have some file-based routing and API routes. So this API routes and file-based routing is something that we've also seen in Svelte, for example, right? So the last time we did Svelte, we did the Svelte to-do app. Maybe I can quickly show it. What? Yeah. Why is it so slow? It's very slow today. The call, yeah. Yeah, so we did this Svelte to-do app. I'm sorry that it's so slow. Yeah. Oh my god. And what you can do in Svelte is basically you have also this file-based routing. So you have routes, right? And inside those routes, you then have like, for example, a page for Svelte and the page server TS. And inside this page server TS, you can then define your endpoints. So instead of calling like classical endpoints, you can do like add to do, update to do, a load function which returns some to-dos. So I think that's basically something similar that we get with Analog.js. At least that's what I would kind of expect. Yeah, but let's see. Let's just try it out. So, how do we get started? Read the docs, okay. Whiteboard, low config, file-based routing, okay. Those are the packages. So actually, last time I played around with Astro, and I was not realizing that, maybe let me make that a bit bigger. I was not realizing that actually the Analog, I was using this plugin, Astro Angular, but I was not realizing that this was provided by Analog.js, right? So they provide also the plugin which allows you to use Angular inside Astro, which is super nice. Yeah. That leads me then also to a question, like generally, because with Astro, you can also use file-based routing, right? And then I'm curious, what is the benefit of using, or in which cases should you use analog and in which Astro? So let's see. So we go npm create. This is still from yesterday's stream, right? So we paste that. npm create analog latest. Will this go and create it inside a folder or not? Let's just go like this. So it's still 0.25. I guess this will then create a folder, right? Let's just, yeah, let's use Angular 15. Okay. So how do we call it? Maybe we just call it Analog Playground. Let's just call it like this. We use Angular v15, yeah. So what do we get here? We get a README, index.html, source, Vite config, package.json. We don't get modules yet, so we probably have to install. And I will already spin up an IDE. All right. To open up the project. Documents, code, private, analog playground. Right, something like this. Okay, so we have an index.ts, which I guess is the home route, right? I don't know why everything... because we haven't yet installed the node modules. It seems to be really slow today. Okay, good. So we have a component spec. So this is standard Angular syntax. I don't know why the before each is not recognized. Okay, it is. It just needed a moment. Okay. Good. So what is different from a standard Angular project? Of course, we have this index.html, my app, which loads main TS. TS config, we have the Vite config, right? That's something. We have a package.json, which looks pretty normal. We have Angular in it. We have the Angular router in it. We have Narwhal Angular in it. RxJS, AnalogJS platform, Narwhal Vite. Okay, good. We have a bunch of things in here. We have a server with some routes. Divine event handler. Okay, let's see. So that's also something I kind of like. I like to have this split so that it's clear what is the server and what is the client. Again, that's something I was not so happy with quick. Okay, let's just go ahead and run this, right? Is it 4,200? Okay, now I have to get used to this new port probably. Okay, so we have Vite, whatever it is. Let me bump that a bit. And we have it running, right? So good. Now we have a count which can go up. The count is probably defined inside our app component. Router outlet index.ts. Now it has to be in here somewhere. Yeah, here is the count, and we have the button count, right? Good. Okay, so standard Angular. Let me also explore the main TS, how they do it. So they have this provide file router, and that's something that they provide. I think in the docs they mentioned this should mention this. So yeah, building the application. Okay, that's also something I quickly want to explore. Let's npm run build. Let's see. So we have this folder. We have the client, which is a standard. Yeah, which is just HTML, right? But I am curious then. Index HTML, right? Yeah, and so under, okay, the script that they load is under assets. Here they have the script that they load. Because we need the script to be loaded like this for the counter, right? And I'm curious how they will generate it then when we have multiple routes, but let's see. Okay, so this is really faster than Webpack, much faster, right? Good. Running tests, that's something we can try. Okay, that's fast. That's cool. I like it. And then inside the app component spec, we just do like normal testing. This is nothing special. I think, where is this expect actually? Okay, that's v expect static. We test. Okay, blazingly fast. That's the new buzzword in front-end development. Blazingly fast. Everything is blazingly fast. Get started features. I basically want to have API. Whoa. What is that? Have you seen that? That looked so broken. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so we have skip, bench, describe, each, before, all. I'm curious where they have the assertions. Yeah, probably here. Okay, that's just matchers. Test filtering, features. Giant chest expect compatibility. So yeah, they even have Chise built-in for assertions plus chest. Okay, so we can probably use the same that we use with Chai as well and with chest. Okay. Test API reference. Yeah, that's this, but testing types. Okay, I want to see the mock functions. Is for sure cool. So they have also spy on. Yeah, I guess the API of all those things is pretty similar, right? There's not like much to change. Mock results, vUtility, expect, that's what I wanted here. Expect to equal to be, the following types are used in the type signatures below. Okay. Not to be close to. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So we get a bunch of operations, right? Good. What else do we want to try? So let's go further. So we have tests. So far it looks pretty cool. Building an. Okay, I think we already have that, right? Analog.js. A Vite plugin for building Angular applications. Analog.js Vite plugin Angular. Don't we have that? Okay, that's probably only the plugin for Angular, right? So what kind of styles do we use here? Styles. Logo hover. So this is standard CSS, right? So if we want to do like we basically take, so this will not work because this is not Sass, right? But I should be able to do it. Also for right now, I can probably not do like, let's quickly go and add, no, let's try it. So we will do like a new file, let's call it index.scss. Alright, and we will just bump those files in here. Probably this one I don't need. I don't think that this will work, right? Because we probably... Okay, this works. So means we can now also inline the hover. Alright. Everything works like, okay, it works like this. But now, let's say we want to use this here inside the component, right? So we want to use Sass inside here. So this will not work, right? But we can probably get it to work with this. In order to support preset inline styles, the plugin must be configured, provide the extension of the type styles being used. Yeah, okay, so there is... Yeah, so this would be inline styles. In the Vite config, provide an object to the Angular plugin function inline styles extensions. Okay, so we should have the Vite config. And then, where was it? On the plugin, yeah. Then how we do to provide it? It's an object inline. Let me copy it because otherwise I make typo. I'm great at making typos. Something like this. And do I have to install a plugin? So why is it red? Not sure if this is the way to go. Let's see. Okay, it seems to load. And the hover seems to work, right? So if we... It seems like the IDE is not capable. So it's the hover of the logo. This one. Yeah, you see it's not there. And if we add it here, okay, somehow This doesn't seem to work, right? Or does it? No. But it seems like the IDE is somehow also not capable of doing this correctly. And also I'm missing like one bracket. No, it doesn't seem to be working. Am I doing something wrong? Using CSS, the Vite plugin. Yeah, style URLs. So style URLs were working, all right? I mean, so this somehow didn't work. I'm not seeing what I do wrong. Inline styles extensions, CSS, SCSS is there. Is there a plugin I have to do like? Probably not. So he completely doesn't understand this. He thinks like, because this is valid, right? So if I take this and put this into this index CSS, right? I just reformat it and I go back and I just do style URLs. You see, then the hover works. So I'm not sure. I cannot make. Maybe I'm missing some plugin, but which one actually? Is there like a? I am not sure. Anyway, let's advance to the router. The Angular router is included when generating a new Angular analog project. To install the router manually. Okay. So this should be included, right? Okay, that's the function we were talking about. Is provide file router function from analog.jx. So we have the Bootstrap application function, which is basically the new way of bootstrapping standalone components. So if we check our app component, it has to be standalone, right? Yeah, standalone true, because we use Bootstrap application and provide file router. The provide file router function is a function from analog, which registers the Angular router together with the routes generated from the file structure. Okay. So this will already do all of our routes, so we don't have to manually, because usually what you would do is like inside the main.ts you would come with something like routes here, and then you would basically define your route config right here, right? And this is something we don't have to do. So with this file-based routing, this registers the Angular router. Next update is config app to include the dynamically generated routes. Okay, that's then for dynamically generated routes. TS. So that would be something like when we have some IDs, for example. But that's already included. That's cool. Last router outlet. Yeah, on the root. Okay, that's already perfect. Defining routes. Routes are. So we have the source app routes folder. There, that's the place where our routes go actually. Route components must be defined as the default export, index routes. So there are 5 types of routes: index routes, static routes, dynamic routes, nested routes, and catch-all routes. Okay, let's start by index routes. So we have a home route. I'm just thinking, what is the difference between the example route below? A route's home defines a slash route. Aha, okay. Okay, good, got it. So this one, so that's our slash route, I guess. But it's just because it's indexed TS. So what would happen if we do like a new file home.ts? Yeah, and let's just use this. So standalone component app home. How is the index called? Is it also called app home? New follower, welcome. Welcome. White.js. Okay. App home standalone true. We also called it app home route. So now what is going to happen? Like, what if we do slash? Okay, I'm not sure if I got what the index routes are exactly for. So what if I rename that to I would expect to that home now comes. Right? Ah, Thomas, hello. Why are you already up? Slash home. Nope. What? Let's maybe call it about.ts. Okay, I'm not sure if I got it. Static routes are defined by using the file names as the route path. Source example route below. Source app routes about TS defines an about route. I don't think that it has anything to do with this name, but let's app about standalone true, right? We have standalone true. Welcome. Ah, probably I forgot to add it to the module, right? But our index TS, this one, the app home, I don't think it's defined anywhere. So if I go to find usages, no, it's not defined. About page component. Source app routes about TS, right? Source app routes about TS. Okay. So that works. That works. That's cool. Okay, so we have indexed, so we have basically file-based routing, which is nice. Now I'm still not getting what the index routes are for. So what if I do like the exact same thing but as an indexed route. So this would probably not work because I have a main route, right? But what if I remove this one? Okay, then okay, that's the indexed index route. So once you use the brackets, you end up here. So this should be like index page. Let's call it index page. Yeah. So we have the index page, and once we start to go to /about, we go to the about page. Cool. Good. So this index-based routing, that works. So we have generated the index route, the static route. Now dynamic routes. I guess we could also just do like for a new feature, let's call it foo. I think we can also do foo, and then inside here we can have like a file index.ts, which then basically is no. Let's call it foo component. The selector doesn't actually matter. So we have about. Okay, that doesn't work. /foo/index.ts. /about, right? About works /foo. No. Okay, maybe there I have to use this. Since it's an indexed route. Maybe this will work. Nope. Okay, maybe there is more in the docs. About, standalone, true, hello Angular. Angular is a meta framework. About, standalone, true. Dynamic routes. Dynamic routes are defined by using the file names as the route path. Yeah, I would have expected this to work, that we go with foo/index.ts, just foo. Not the, of course not index.ts, but /foo. I would have expected this to work somehow. Okay. Anyway, let's continue here. Dynamic routes are defined by using file name as the route path. Yeah. Okay, that's actually what I want. No, it's file name, it's not folder name. Enclosed in square brackets. Dynamic routes must be placed inside a parent folder or prefixed with a parent path and period. Okay, let's try that. Products product id.ts. Products dot product id dot ts, right? Let's copy that. Let me quickly check something. Okay. So we have the product ID, so we have this product details, which uses async pipe, JSON pipe. Yeah, we get the product ID from the param map. So we should be able to do slash products slash one. Do I have to restart here or? Probably. Maybe that was the issue previously. No. Okay, defines a product slash products. I thought product slash one would work. But it doesn't seem to be rendering. What if I just do slash products? Nothing. Route, okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why. Did I have something wrong with the file name productid.ts? So this probably has to match with the param name, right? But I don't see what is wrong here. Maybe this foo folder breaks it, I don't know. Because I don't see what I'm doing wrong. Slash products, let's try it again. Slash 2, no. Now it worked. Okay, so this foo folder kinda broke it. Okay, that's cool. So we have a route with dynamic params. That's cool. Nested routes. Nested routes are defined by using parent file and child folder with routes. So we can have app routes products and then product id.ts or product list.ts. So that would get us okay, that makes sense. Let's try to build something like this. Like we will build some characters. So let's add a characters.ts, right? And this will be an Angular component. We don't use the async pipe. We just go here, and what we do is we add a bunch of characters, which again yesterday I'm sorry if I'm using too much of anime references, but I really like it. So let's go with ID, name, Rufy, and then let's use so let's say ID1, right? Maybe we can even extract this into a service. That would make more sense. I don't know if you write Sanchi like this. Let's add a character service. Let's go maybe somewhere not under routes, but maybe under the core, in the core, so we can even have like a core directory. Character.service.ts, right? Export class character service, and this is an injectable that is provided in root. All right, and then we grab our characters and we add them here as a private field, and then we add a public function get characters. We could also type it but I think I'm too lazy to type it actually. So good. And then what we will do here is we will have a constructor where we of course inject our service. Right. Pivot. That's the new keyword. Pivot. And then inside here we do an unordered list, right? With list items where we just ng4 let character of character service get characters, right? And then inside here we display character. Something like this. But then of course if we do it like this, we have to make this public. Good. Optimize imports, optimize imports. Okay, let's do it manually. Good, ng4 is something we need, so we need to provide it. Because that's now standalone syntax. Right, so we should be able to go to /characters. Why do we call it product details? I don't know. That's the wrong one. Now. So we go /characters, right? Maybe we could do on our index page routes. So this would be the index page. I guess the routing is now different from what we cannot use the router. Probably we can use the router outlet, but we just go like router link / yeah, so we are there. Hello, it's a framework for BE. What do you mean by BE is big? What do you mean by BE? And of course we display character dot name, right? Okay. So we have that. Backend. Aha, okay, sorry. Makes sense, yeah, sorry. No, it's like it's a meta framework on top of Angular. So you have Angular, but it's a meta framework on top, which provides like some additional features that you can use Vite. Vite for instead of Webpack because like it's a bit faster, has better developer experience. You can also use Vite test, and then it has server-side rendering. And so here comes the backend part. You can also provide endpoints, which basically can do the database calls and so on. Because you already have a server, right? You server-side render, and you also get access to provide those API endpoints actually. But we haven't gotten there yet. So it's not really a backend framework, but it's also a framework that allows you to do some backend. Good, so we have our characters, and now what did we wanted to do? We wanted to go to character and have a product list. Yeah, so now we want to have a new route /character Does it have to be products? No. And then we do like new file character dot, how was it? Character ID, right? .ts, something like this, which again is an Angular component. It's all called app product details. That's the new universal name, app characters. Let's maybe also define some image URL for the characters. Character service. So let's say like we have image URL, whatever. Let's just go with this one. Copy image address, right? Now this would be the one. Then we do one for Zoro. Maybe we have to specify it with one piece. Let's take this one. Copy image or yeah, it's good. Alright, so let's do it like this. So we have our character service. Let's also add a public get character, which takes like an ID, which is of type number, and then return this dot characters dot find, where the character equals the ID, right? Something like this. And now inside our character ID component, what we can do here is basically the same that we did for the product ID, right? We can use inject activated route, which comes from analog.js. Also, so that's probably now one up, more up. And then what we can do is so we read the character ID, right? And then let's just call this not product ID but character ID, and then we go here and we do like character ID. Man, can I async, right? And this of course should be a link. So on the characters, what we will do is we will wrap this here. We will wrap this with a link. A router link, which we'll do like this. Then this one comes inside here, right? And slash. Is it slash? Sorry. Something like slash character slash plus character.id, right? So this goes to slash character slash 0, right? But nothing happens. Because it's actually slash character, not slash character. Yeah. cannot match any routes. Okay, why? Routes products. I don't know if this should also be characters. Probably. First, before I talk about this, let's first map this again. And what we want to do is we want to map the ID, and we want to call this .character service.getCharacter by the ID, right? So we have the character, not just the ID. So we call this character. And what we'll do is ng container, ng if what, go away, let character. And then inside this container, what we will do is we will have an image with source. Source has to be used with bindings. Character dot image URL, and here we will do. Let's do it just strong. All right. Character dot name. Of course, we have to close our tab. We have to give it an alt for accessibility. One piece character. We could do better here for accessibility, but yeah. Now, styles. Image, we do like
Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses.
let's go with 200 pixels, right?
Money clip, I tossed it. I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win. Yeah. LABB who we running.
Can't bind to ngIf since it's not a known component, right? Makes sense.
If he never heard of Ben Dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping.
So this should actually give us a character. Now we have to use the JSON pipe. Ah, this is a string, okay, makes sense.
Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB who we running with, yeah. 2, 2, 3.
Okay, it's possibly null. Can we do it like this? Okay, we can do it like this. Yeah, so we have some images, which looks beautiful. So we have a 404 on our images are not like correct. Copy image address, isn't this the way to go, like? Yeah, this one. Character service. This should be the correct one. We can get rid of the JSON pipe now. Alright. So we have character. Let's go, we go with Sanji. Not really. Okay, I don't know what's up with the image URL. Copy link address. That should be the correct image URL. Not sure why. Also, let me quickly, let's just take this as a container out. Enter duo.container. Display flags. Something like this, but the image is not resolved, right? I don't know if this is something that is because it's server-side rendered. Maybe. But we can do it differently. I guess we can just download the image and use it inside our assets folder, right? So we should be able to say download image, save images. Where are we? We are in Analog Playground, right? Source, assets, let's just call it Sanji. Yeah, that's the sound I need for this task. Something motivating. So those are JPEG, WebP, which is actually cool. JPEG, WebP. Let's call it image name. Is Rafi.jpg. Zoro.jpg, right? Oh my god. Now Sanji.webp, right? Okay. Those are the image names. And now inside our character we have to say, of course, image name, but probably here we also have to add a plus, and the assets folder is /2up, right? One, two assets, yeah. Maybe we have to restart here for the assets. I guess for assets we have to restart. Index page. Index page, didn't we have like on our index page the /characters link? We had. Where is it? Okay. Here we also had something different, right? Why is it? It's weirdly cached, it seems to be. And here we also have something different. Character. Is there an error? This .character service get character is not a function. Suddenly. Okay, why? No idea. Okay, it seems that I have some buggy behavior, some weird behavior. Like, I don't know if it's something cached or... Because character service is there. And it has a get characters function. Only a get character. You see, there is only one function. Where is my get character function? Okay, I had the typo, but I had the typo already previously. So the weird thing is... Okay, now it works. So I have assets, Rafi, JPEG. I don't think that any of those images work. I don't know why it's always going for... Because we have one, characters one, right? This is weird. What? ID 0, yeah, that makes sense, right? ID 0. Why? Yeah, it has to be here, like... So I'm really not sure what's going on. Character ID 1. Okay, I have a bug. Does this make it? Okay, I have a bug, right? Thought that this will convert it to... Okay, this is the wrong conversion, I guess. My bad. So what if I just do it like this? Okay, let's say... Okay, I have to do it like this. If we don't have an ID, then we just return an empty object. This has to work, right? ID 1, okay. Good, at least that. So now our images are still not found. What could it be? Sanji is not found. So we have assets slash Sanji. But we also have inside our app component, we had this home component, right? So probably inside the commit history, we should find the index.ts. Okay, that was just slash. So it was not under assets, it was just slash. Let's try it with that. There we go, and we just say voila. Now we have it. Okay, cool. Okay. So, what I actually wanted to talk about is I like it. I like how easy it is to define routes. What I don't like is that what I don't like is, for example, if I have slash products. It would be cool if I could do something like this. Or let's say slash, I don't know, cars. It would be cool to have a directory, a new file, then index.ts or something. And inside here, I would then basically have a simple component. Index.ts, app, cars, right? So it would be cool to have this ability to have slash cars. But this doesn't seem to work, right? But if I put it up and just call it like cars.ts, put the exact same code in it, then it probably works. I go slash cars. It should work, slash cars. What? Yeah, I think it's broken because of the folder actually. Let me remove that folder. Is it? Slash. Okay, let's restart. So that should actually work, or I would expect this to work. Also, what happens to my index.ts? So if I do a hard refresh, then somehow it appears. So there seems to be something wrong with caching. Yeah, now slash cars works. But that means I'm now not so convinced. So I should also be able to do it like this, right? Something like this. I'm not so convinced by the caching now. So is this really the truth? I am not sure. I want to ensure if this works or not. So let's a couple of times refresh the cache. This works actually. So it was somehow with the caching, because that works and that's cool. That's what I want. So I should be able to now also refactor our characters instead of hanging in top level, that I can say I have a folder. Let's try that. Characters, right? And now let's do it inside here, where we do like something like this. So this will be our index page. We could call it, I think, like this, refactor. So I can come, let's see, I probably have to restart it. So I come to slash characters, right? So that's our new characters. Yeah, so that's our new characters component, right? And now I can probably also do the same if I would do index.ts. Now, is this already working? What? I'm wrong. Wrong file. Correct. There, so. Okay, so this is working. So those will be the way to have indexes. And now let's also move our character ID. And now let's refactor that to a file just slash character ID. I guess that's all we need here, right? So this doesn't work, but that doesn't mean anything. Because we can refresh and we can try it again. No. Okay, this doesn't seem to work. Which is a bit sad. I think this should work somehow. Character ID.ts. Let's try it with characters. No. So do they have an example? Yeah, they also do it like product ID, right? So I think this has to work. Just not sure why it doesn't. Character ID.ts. So they have the index TS. This is basically like having an index TS, right? And this defines two routes with a shared layout. Products, product ID. The product TS, yeah. Okay, but that's then a child route. Okay, yeah, because it's a child route. Yeah, that makes sense. If you have the common layout, you can have child routes. That makes sense. But I'm still curious, so I don't see. I think this should work actually. This route doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? mean, it doesn't say there is no route found. Yeah, so this wouldn't match anything. But here it just doesn't route. What if we add this common layout? If we do like characters.ts, right? So that would be the component. Yeah, we don't need all of that. Let's just copy a simple one. Maybe the about TS. Right. So now we would have characters. Let's just add like just a one-piece header, whatever. Router outlet, right? Characters component. So now this should be the common outlet for those two. So even if we go to characters, that's the way I understood it. So because they have the same, they have products route, a products TS. So yeah, now we have the common layout. And now it works, right? Now it works if we have the common layout. But if we don't have the common layout, also, where is the image? This is again some really old version. So I guess if I do a refresh, I mean, because we are not displaying this at all, right? We are basically using the image. So what is that actually? Like, where is that coming from? That's an old version. No idea where this is coming from. Do you refresh even? And now it's there. So there seems to be something wrong with caching. And what I don't like is now it seems to be working if I have this characters file, right? But if I don't have, or let's just rename it to, let's just rename it Characterze. Right. Now the characters route still keeps, but notice how one piece as a template is gone. But now the child route do no longer work. So they don't longer work. So basically what my workaround now would be, of course this is something that we can probably report, but my workaround would be to do this actually, and then you can basically have this kind of architecture so that you have this without a common template. So I think that has to be a workaround. It would be nice if you don't need this, but not 100% sure. Yeah, would be cool if we could get if we would not need that file. That would be very, very nice. Okay, let's see. We have done this. That works great. Then there's a catch all routes. Catch all routes are defined by using the file name. Page not found. So the example route below, because we have the 3 dots. Okay, so let's go and do that. So if we have under routes a new file, 3 dots page not found .ts, right? Something like this. Yeah. router link would probably... What is the issue? So if we go slash... Yeah. So I'm not so confident in the reloading, and I'm not confident that what I see is actually is the truth. So this has to get better because otherwise it's a bit annoying. Yeah, now the page not found works. So suddenly it works. This feels a bit like... so the general thing is cool, but if this could be like more stable, because I can see that people will lose like so much time on this. Route metadata, additional metadata to add generated route config for each route can be used route metadata type. Okay. Yeah, you can have a can activate. You can even have providers. Yeah. Okay. So let's just use it to do like... Is there something else that you need to do instead of like how is the title then bound? Because we check the service. So let's say I go to my app, I go to characters, right? We don't see the characters as a title. So can I just take this, export some route metadata? So on the characters, let's do it even here on this index. Export const. What did we do? Route metadata. Yeah. Meta. Route meta, which comes from analog. And then we say title. Characters, right? And now let's refresh. Okay, we see that the title is set. Okay, that's cool. I like it. And it worked immediately with the hard refresh, but I still had to do the hard refresh. And check the about service. Okay, cool. Yeah, Astro Angular. So that's then another question when should I use, when analog makes sense and when Astro makes sense. I'm not sure. But that's cool. Project defining a component. Yeah. So we already did that on stream. Create analog flags. Using Tailwind, so we can use Tailwind. That's good. But I would be curious if there's a way to define like these data routes. That would be super cool. Like, I don't know if there's a way, at least it doesn't seem to be documented here. Let's see if we can find something on their GitHub repo. Analog. File-based routing. Is there like a analog example or something? Apps. App, playwright, analog app. So I guess that's on server routes. Yeah. So you have this event handler which sends some data, right? And how do you call it? So it would be cool if we could basically switch our characters data to the server, right? Product alerts. product alerts, that component, product price. Okay, that's only that. Products. Okay, that's just the interface. That's just a router outlet. And then on the routes, we have home, we have the cards, and probably on the home, yeah, we have the HTTP client. Yeah, so that sounds good, which I would do this in a service, but yeah. So let product of products, and here we get API v1 products. So is this our endpoint then? Routes, where was it? Source, server routes, products. I guess. So let's try that. Let's go to server routes. Okay, that's it, server routes v1. So I guess we can do server routes, a new directory, which we call characters, right? And here we can do like a new index. I don't know if it's index TS, hello TS. From H3 define event handler probably. So here we could then do database access. So let's go to our character service and take all of our characters and put them right into here. Define event handler H3. So now let's see if we can go and, how did they call it? They called it on API. So let me restart the server. I'm not sure if this is needed actually. So that would be now instead. Where was it? API v1 slash API, and then the v1 comes slash characters. Nice, nice. So we get characters, right? So we basically created kind of a REST endpoint. So let's use that in our front end. So we have our index TS and now our character service. Let's just refactor it. So we use private HTTP client. Private characters, and then what we do is we say this dot HTTP client get, and then we get from, what was it, slash API slash characters. And this, I'm curious if we can now also share, because everything is in the source, I think also the server. Yeah. So this would allow us to now add probably a, let's first see if we get any characters, right? Let's go step by step. So is this now really something that is coming from the server? Luffy, oh. So we refresh. Doesn't seem to be refreshed. Maybe we have to really restart the server. I'm not sure. But no, this is still cached because, right, now we deliver an observable and we don't handle an observable. So that's not working yet. Let's just go with any for the moment. Let's just uncomment this function, right? And then we are characters, we are characters. Now here inside characters, we have our index.ts. So get characters, and we use the async pipe, right? Okay, so we use the async pipe, right? And now let's see. So we do object for pipe async. So probably we should do it like character stream is equal to this dot character private Why is that an invalid argument? Because we return an array, right? So this is an observable, right? Get characters, HTTP client get. This should be an observable. So if you do like pipe tap console log e, let's just use here we are. I don't enter the here we are. Now we get a complete different error. Failed to fetch dynamically imported module. So let me see how they call it. Slash API slash API slash characters. Does it? Maybe, but again, the caching doesn't feel like really stable, but maybe. Now we get them, but is this now from the backend? That's the question. But it should be, right? If we go to network, fetch, we redo. That should be listed as a network request, which isn't. Characters, Luffy. So we should have. No. But then what kind of file is this? Because we loop through the characters we get here. This is again the okay, we have a white filter, that's not good. But now nothing happens. Now it's a completely different version again. And now it says object for pipe, async pipe. Let me quickly try something. So what if we do like instead of, so we don't enter here at all, like we come here and we say console log fetch characters. Right, we should at least get there. Maybe property get character does not exist. Ah, okay. So he fails because we... Sorry. He fails because we uncommented this. And then we uncommented the get character function, and that's why he fails. So let's just do like... just return an empty object here. Failed to fetch dynamically imported module. We again have that. But is this still true? Okay. So now we have characters, but those, again, those are not our backend characters, right? And I also don't see any kind of call. And I also don't see the fetch characters call. So is this happening like on the backend side? Because what they do, they inject the HTTP client, right? This shouldn't make a difference if I do dependency injection via constructor or if I do it with the inject function. That shouldn't make a difference. I'm curious if the timing when it happens, if that makes a difference. So if I make it, because currently what I do inside my characters, sorry, here. What we currently do, we make it immediately just when the component starts, but maybe we have to do it on init. Maybe this is, I don't know if it gets server-side rendered or not. But this should somehow work. Okay, if we do it like this, we have to generate a property characters, which is an observable of, let's just go with any, and then we do this dot characters, right? And since it's not initialized here, it can also be undefined, right? So again, we get this object for async pipe, but that's because something else fails. I'm not entering the backend call at all. There is no console log here. I'm not coming into this call somehow. Even though I say, do I even enter the on init? I should, like, that should be logged. Okay, it's server side rendered. Let's try something else. Since it's server side rendered, maybe the HTML already gets like prepared, it gets prepared on the server side and then sent, but still we have the wrong data. Because if we refresh here, we get it thoroughly, but we don't get it here. And I'm not sure where, is it somehow cached? Like, clear site data. Where is this data now coming from? It has to be cached somewhere. Maybe here on the server side. No idea. Okay, I don't know where it's coming from. Let's try something different. Let's just try... what if we do it on a call? On a click. So let's say characters test. Let's just call it characters test. And we add, below this list, we add a new button. And here we say, load some more characters, right? And then on a click, we load them. And underneath here, we basically do the same. We just do like characters test, not with 2. And then we have to create this load them function. And here we do the exact same, but we assign it to characters test. Right? Now, we don't do anything. I would expect it to refresh and to display my button. So nothing happens, right? Now we get something. And if I click now on the, let's check the network tab. Load some more characters. Okay, I get this error. Now nothing happens, right? Property name does not exist on type. Yeah. Let's quickly adjust the character ID to just uncomment this. Maybe this breaks like everything. Let's see. So where is my button? Where is my button? Here we get a list of characters, but where is the button? Right? I added load some more characters button. Nothing happens. Hard refresh. Suddenly the button is there. Okay, now again, object. So maybe it is really an issue with the data I provide. Maybe. But let me see. So we will try something else. Okay, what we will try now is, let's say we don't do it as a we don't do it here, we don't call HTTP client, right? Instead of calling the HTTP client, what we will do is, also I don't see the here we are tab. What we will do is we'll just return off. Yeah, it's the question how we just return this, right? Return off this. So we get the totally. Now what is the issue? Nothing, nothing. Is it an issue that I inject the HTTP client? So I get it, right? I get it now. I'm curious. Let me check again how they do it. So they have a catch error. They just return the products and they subscribe to the products. What if I use does this make a difference for them? If I use the inject function? I don't think this should. HTTP client, right? And now the question is, let me uncomment that. Okay, we have a null injector because we didn't provide the HTTP client, right? So since it's standalone, I don't remember. So since it's standalone, we have to provide it a bit. HTTP client standalone, import providers, yeah. So that's maybe the whole time we were missing this. But like the error message was also, now if we get this makes sense. So I guess they also use the import providers on his application. Analog app, source app. It's not under. There should be a main.ts somewhere. Main.ts, right? Yeah, provide HTTP client. And that's okay, that was stupid. I forgot about that. And now we get some data and here we are. Okay, all good. So we get the correct data. We correctly enter the things, and if we load some more data, the backend request fires. That was so stupid. And then of course we probably also don't have to use the inject. Good. So that works. And now of course we could also do the ID. But I'm curious if we can now also add like push. So H3, what is H3? Is it H3.js? From H3, so H3 has to be installed, I guess. Where is this coming from? Probably Astro brings it somehow. Not H2, H3. Tiny JavaScript server. AnJS H3. Okay, that looks like it. Works perfectly in serverless workers, yeah. So we install H3. event handler. That's what we imported. We can create an app, whatever. That's something we don't need probably. Just the event handler. Router. Get. Handle can directly, okay, that's just for returning stuff. Is there also something get? See how it works, links to the same. So I'm curious if H3 can also do create router, right? App that use routers. So here we just do define event handler. Create app use. Maybe they have even a example. Let's see, analog apps. Strap plug app, docs app. Create app. Create app, create router, get. I'm curious if we can register the same router more than one with different methods. Can I use define? What if I do export default? So this create app, I'm curious if they do it under the hood. Let me quickly try it. So that would be hello world. So if we go to /characters, so that would be this one, right? Wow, that's so light. It should be function. Okay, I guess that doesn't work. Not sure how this is meant to be used. Yeah, they only have define event handler. I guess that's short for this. So there's nothing even of define event handler. I'm curious if I can also do like some post data. App options app. Yeah, there's create app, but I don't know what analog does with it. Again, it's also not really documented, right? So it's kind of hard to tell. Validate body, use validate body. I don't know. event.ts spawned with let me see how Analog kinda handles some of the stuff. Packages, platform, Astro, Angular content, router. That sounds like the front-end router. Runtime build server.ts. Build server. Pre-render build. I'm curious if they have configure server, invalidate routes, normalize path. Okay, I'm not sure how to do it. It's not really build server, SSR runtime, API middleware. That sounds like it. Event handler, export default event handler. So they import the event handler from, because this is directly imported from H3, right? Event starts with API. So if it starts with API, then they do, okay, they do some replacement. But probably I could use here like I'm not sure why the thing that I tried to do was not working. So why is this not working? So I have create server. I create this server. This is probably an issue. Because they are starting the server somehow, right? They are starting the server, so let me instead of just browsing the GitHub files, let me just clone it. Let me open it. Private analog. Okay, they have, whoa, they have some analog app. Yeah, those are the apps, right? But they also have packages. Platform, where was it? Build server. That sounds like, okay, I was already in this file, pre-rendering static pages, build. And is there somewhere where they do like, yeah, dev server plugin. Here, build SSR app, that's under SSR. Merge config, build, entry server. So that's rollup options. Building the server. To node event handler. So that's the middleware where they just rewrite some URLs. renderer.js. Import, so they import from the build main server, the default. I don't think this is yet possible by looking at this. Yeah, middleware use API to node listener, server.app, create dev server. Nitro, so they have the server. API, T has no server.app. To node listener. Okay, we could play around with this, but Nitro config. Nitro pack, I don't know Nitro pack. What is Nitro pack? Nitro pack, one platform. Get instant results. Okay, we need customer experience. Still don't know what it is exactly. Nitro pack. Nitro provides a powerful toolchain from the unchannels. Okay. Okay, Nitro pack. And here is basically Nitro pack config, lock level, source server. Yeah. This client. Configure server. I think it's this TS2 node listener. I don't know what this does. Create server to node listener app. I quickly have to rearrange here the to node listener. To node listener server.app. Right? So that's basically where they actually start the server. And server.app, create dev server. Yeah, it's this create dev server function from Nitro. So they pass in the Nitro config, but create dev server. Create dev. Okay, that comes from import Nitro pack, create dev server. Yeah, inside here they create the server. So that will create the server, and then we have the app. But create server probably then somehow adds those things. Nitro. Okay, I'm not sure how they do it. Maybe I'll reach out to Brandon to ask if this is possible. Great. I don't know. Right, because it's basically done here. So they import NitroPack, load ES module, ESM module. Okay. They waited, they load NitroPack, and they have create dev server from NitroPack. So NitroPack. I'm not sure how this is meant to be used. Actually, I also don't want to reverse engineer their whole code, so let's see. Yeah, but generally, so because I soon have to leave, generally it's pretty cool analog. I like it. I like how easy it is to create like routes. There are a couple of things I still don't like. I don't like that, for example, if you want to have like characters and then character ID route, that you need to have like this fake router outlet on top, otherwise it doesn't work. I didn't like at all the issues I had with caching. So I changed something, sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't. I didn't like that at all. That was like very frustrating. I like that they use Vite, I like that they use Vitest. I like how easy it is to generate routes. I like server-side rendering. Also, I like that basically you have the possibility to define those data endpoints in a pretty easy way, right? That's pretty cool. Would be cool if we also have push and push, post and delete, right? But of course, like it's not yet out. I don't know which version it is, analog. So far it looks pretty cool. Analog is like in version, which version is it? GitHub. It's there should be releases somewhere here. Releases. Okay, they don't even have tags. Analog. That's something else, right? That's something else. Isn't there a version somewhere? Anyway, I think it is 0 something. But one thing I still want to try is npm run build. So we are building, right? And you see what it does. Like it builds a bunch of JS files. That's the wrong project. So it builds a bunch of JS files, but then also under assets we can find our HTML files, I would say. No, we cannot. Index.html, and then those are just JS files. How do they look like? Okay, I don't know how they build it. I would have expected that here we have a bunch of HTML files, maybe. But they do it in a different way, right? So this seems to be Ivy. I don't know where our HTML is actually. Because it's probably somewhere on the server. Aha, yeah. That makes sense. Server. Chunks. Hello. Analog, no. Okay, I'm not sure how they do it. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining. I have to leave. I have to go to an appointment right now. So see you on one of the next streams. I wish everybody a nice day, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.